I just saved $617 in 30 days without changing my income or cutting out coffee. The weirdest part? I didn't use a budgeting app, spreadsheet, or financial advisor. I let artificial intelligence handle everything. Most people think budgeting for beginners means downloading Mint or filling out complicated Excel templates. But after this experiment, I'm convinced we've been doing it completely wrong. Here's what happened when I handed my finances over to AI. Day 1. I fed ChatGPT and Claude my last 3 months of bank statements. Not manually, I used export files that took about 4 minutes to download and upload. I gave both AI models the same instructions: analyze my spending, identify patterns I'm missing, and tell me where money is disappearing. ChatGPT came back in 12 seconds. It found 7 subscription services I forgot existed. A streaming platform I signed up for during a free trial 8 months ago. A meditation app I used twice. A cloud storage service charging me $11 monthly for files I could have stored for free. Total monthly cost? $63. That's $756 annually for services I genuinely forgot about. Claude took a different approach. It categorized every transaction into 15 spending buckets, then calculated what percentage of my income went to each category. Turns out, I was spending 28% on food. Not groceries and restaurants combined, just restaurants and delivery apps. The national average is 13%. I was spending more than double on eating out without realizing it. Week 2 is where things got interesting. I started asking both AIs to predict my spending before I made purchases. Every morning, I'd input my plans for the day. Claude would estimate my probable spending based on historical patterns. On Tuesdays, I apparently spend 42% more than Mondays. Why? Claude found it. Tuesday is when I work from a coffee shop instead of home. $3 for coffee becomes $3 for coffee, $8 for lunch nearby, and usually an afternoon snack. One location change was costing me an extra $70 monthly. ChatGPT identified something even stranger. My Amazon spending spikes exactly 3 days after stressful work events. I'd have a difficult client call on Monday, feel fine Tuesday and Wednesday, then order random stuff Thursday evening. Noise-canceling headphones I didn't need. A book I never read. Kitchen gadgets still in boxes. The AI tracked the emotional spending pattern before I consciously recognized it. The correlation was undeniable once mapped out. Stress day followed by a 72-hour delay, then unnecessary purchases averaging $94. By week 3, I let the AI make actual decisions. I created a simple rule system. If both ChatGPT and Claude recommended against a purchase, I wouldn't buy it. If they suggested a cheaper alternative, I'd consider it. If they approved, I'd proceed. This is where I saved the most money. I was about to buy a $200 office chair. ChatGPT found the same chair refurbished for $112 with a warranty. I planned to hire someone on Fiverr for thumbnail design, budgeting $200 monthly. Claude analyzed my needs and found a template system for $47 one time that would work for my volume. An insurance renewal came up. I was going to auto-renew at $138 monthly. I asked both AIs to draft negotiation scripts. They analyzed my coverage, found competitor rates, and wrote 3 email templates. I sent the top-rated script to my insurance company. They reduced my premium to $99 monthly. That's $468, saved annually from one AI-written email that took 6 minutes to customize and send. Here's what shocked me most. The AI didn't tell me to stop buying lattes or cancel Netflix. Traditional budgeting advice feels like punishment. Cut everything fun, suffer now, save later. The AI approach was completely different. It found inefficiencies I didn't know existed. Claude noticed I was buying the same groceries from 3 different stores based on convenience. By planning one weekly trip to the cheapest option, I'd save $17 weekly without changing what I eat. That's over $800 yearly. ChatGPT analyzed my utility bills and found my electricity usage spikes during specific hours. It suggested shifting my dishwasher and laundry to off-peak times. Estimated annual savings: $214 for basically the same behavior on a different schedule. The AI even optimized my credit card usage. I was using one card for everything. It mapped out a strategy using 3 cards I already owned based on category bonuses. Groceries on card A, gas on card B, everything else on card C. Extra cash back, roughly $340 annually. Zero extra effort beyond swiping different cards. Full transparency, this wasn't perfect. AI can't access your accounts directly, so every insight requires manual data input. I spent about 15 minutes daily uploading transactions and asking questions. That's 7.5 hours monthly. Some people will find that tedious. The AI also makes mistakes. ChatGPT once calculated my savings rate wrong by confusing pre-tax and post-tax income. Claude recommended I cancel a service that I actually need for work. You can't blindly follow AI advice without understanding the reasoning. Privacy is another consideration. I used exported CSV files and never shared account passwords, but you're still feeding financial data to these platforms. Read the terms of service. Understand data retention policies. Use privacy-focused methods when possible. And finally, AI lacks emotional intelligence about money. When I told ChatGPT I wanted to spend $200 on concert tickets, it calculated that money could be invested instead. Technically true, but completely missing the point of why humans earn money in the first place. After 30 days, here's what happened. I identified $617 in immediate savings through canceled subscriptions, better purchasing decisions, and negotiated bills. I found ongoing monthly efficiencies worth approximately $237 through optimized shopping, utility timing, and credit card strategy. That's over $3,000 annually. I spent 7.5 hours total interacting with the AI. If we calculate hourly value, I earned roughly $400 per hour for my time. Even accounting for the learning curve, this beats any side hustle I've tried. The best part? These aren't one-time savings. The patterns I learned continue month after month. I now check with AI before any purchase over $50. I run monthly spending analysis. I use AI to negotiate bills annually. The traditional budgeting advice says, track every penny and restrict yourself. The AI approach says, find invisible leaks and optimize systems. One feels like deprivation. The other feels like discovering free money you didn't know you had. I've put together a free prompt template that includes the exact questions I asked ChatGPT and Claude during this experiment. It's in a Google Doc linked in the description. Copy it, modify it for your situation, and run your own 30-day test. If you find even half the savings I discovered, that's $1,500 back in your pocket. Drop a comment telling me what financial task you want to automate next. I'm testing AI for investing decisions in February, and your suggestions might shape that experiment.